about Helen of Troy? You know her. I know her. We all know her. Perhaps you saw Troy with the lovely Brad Pitt. And I do say lovely. He could have been Helen of Troy. His legs were a bit hairy, but I'm sure hers were too. Anyway, I digress. Helen of Troy, the most beautiful woman in the world, a long freaking time ago. We're gonna talk about her. So let's start with the birth. You wanna hear about it? You really don't? Or you're gonna look back and go, why did you tell me this? You're welcome. Anyway, her mother was Leda. Whoa. And her father was Zeus. I am Zeus. Now Leda, she was not married to Zeus. Nuh-uh. Leda was like a human. She was married to, I don't know, some king of Sparta, Tyrannodor, Tyrannosus, Tyrandar. It started with a T, might have ended in an S. Anywho, there's Zeus. He's up on Mount Olympus. I don't know. He just had a fight with his wife, Nemesis. And he's like all dressed up in his swan suit. Nowhere to go. So he's like, you know, trolling around in a swan costume, thinking, I'm feeling a little itchy. You know what I'm saying? He's flying around, looking down to earth, and he sees Leda. And he goes, I need to get with that. I am Zeus. So he flies down as a swan. And Leda goes, oh, bring it. Bring me some swan sex. Swan sex. Leda had sex with a swan. They do it, you know. And then Zeus leaves, because that's what gods do. She laid an egg. And from that egg came Helen of Troy, the most beautiful woman in the world. A big egg, so we can imagine the size. So if her husband, we'll just call him T-Man, wasn't aware that she had had sex with a swan, he is now. I might also add she had 2 eggs, 2 baby-sized eggs. All we are is dust in the wind. Anywho, the second egg was Helen's twin sister. Bet you didn't know she had one. And her name was Clytemnestra. How you like that hanging off you for the rest of your life? That is a story for another time. But I would like you to take the time to work that into a sentence at some point in the next week. All right, so Helen's born. She hatched out of an egg. Fast forward, I don't know, a dozen years or so. And there's these 2 Athenians. Theseus and Pirithous. Theseus and Pirithous? I'm just gonna call him Perry for short. Anyway, so Theseus and Perry they're bored, you know, and they're thinking, I'm a god, you're a god. You know what we need? We need divine wives. And rather than going the normal route, like, you know, I don't know, G-Date, dating apps for gods, they decide they're gonna just, I don't know, kidnap some wives. So Theseus decides he's going to kidnap Helen, and Perry is gonna kidnap, what's her name?
Persephone.
Persephone! Who doesn't want to have Pirithous and Persephone printed on your towels? Anywho, little twist there. Persephone's already married to Hades. You can see where this is gonna go. It doesn't work out well for them. They go down to like Hadesville, Hades bar. They failed in the abduction, and now they're stuck sitting on 2 bar stools, snakes wrapped around their freaking ankles, ordering the same whiskey sours for like ever, which is not really a bad thing. Lemon gives me an acid tummy. Pretty bad there. All right, so we're gonna fast forward, I don't know, a little bit more in time. Her dad, T-Man, Tyrion, says, okay, I need to marry this off. He's going to choose a husband for his daughter. Well, because that's what they did in those times. Where was I? Oh, yes. Okay, so he puts out a proclamation across the land, but what he didn't want to do is like, so-and-so got her, and I wanted her, and so, meh. I'm gonna have everyone vie for her, but the person that wins her is going to get the support. So like, if like the guy who wins Helen goes to war somewhere else in a distant land, they're all gonna be like, yeah, I got you, right? Supposedly. So, great, awesome. Everybody's like feeling all lovey-dovey. Kumbaya, my God, kumbaya. Menelaus won her hand, and everybody was like, yes, Menelaus. And Menelaus and Troy, no, cut. No, don't cut. Just pretend I didn't say that. Menelaus and Helen Anyway, Menelaus and Helen happily ruled Sparta for like the next 10 years. Great. Awesome. Story over? Absolutely not. In comes Paris. Orlando Bloom looking mother Paris. He's a god or something like that. Anyway, Paris is like, I want her. I want Helen. I want Helen. Actually, I'm not even sure he knew about Helen until, maybe he did. Maybe he sort of did. But then Zeus, I am Zeus. He's like, okay, you want her? That's great. You're going to have to do this. You're going to have to judge like a beauty contest. I don't know, there's a few names I can't even remember, but one of them was Aphrodite, right? Anyway, so Aphrodite's like, psst, Paris, I know the most beautiful woman in the world. So if you choose me in the contest, I will totally take you to her. Paris is like, oh yeah, yeah. So Paris chooses Aphrodite, and Aphrodite was like the matchmaker. Matchmaker, matchmaker, make me a match. Sets him up with Helen. Maybe, something like that. I can't remember, or so the story goes. Okay, so Paris went through the beauty contest. He'd gone to Sparta, kidnapped Helen. Poor Helen, she's always getting kidnapped. Anyway, Menelaus wakes up and she gone. She gone, she just gone. It was Paris. Anywho, so he goes back and he says, all right, all y'all who declared your oath of solidarity to me, launch your ships and go get my Helen, the face that launched 1,000 chips. Well, maybe not chips, Fritos. They're the best. They only have 3 ingredients, you know, Fritos. Anyway, the face that launched 1,000 ships. I know. Anyway, I would really like some Fritos right now.
We don't have any Fritos.
No? Anyway, all right, so, anywho, and I say that a lot. So anyway, all right, so Menelaus ships, and they go to Troy. We're there, we finally got there. Helen is now in Troy, and it's now Helen of Troy. Anyway, they have a battle, so now we have the Trojan War. It has begun, all because of Helen. Anyway, okay, so the war has started. There's people, there's arrows. They build the Trojan Horse. Back and forth, and Paris is mortally wounded and he dies. And now here's Helen. She's like, what do I do? You know, I've got Troy on one side, I got Sparta on the other. I have to decide. There's 2 sides of it, right? Yeah, Paris. He was awesome. I'm all about Troy. So I'm going to go, well, I mean, what? I don't even remember now. I can't even remember. All right, hold on. Helen's role was ambiguous. In one, the Trojan horse was admitted into the city, right? Like they actually built a Trojan horse. Who builds a Trojan horse? Who would think, I'm a soldier, I'm gonna attack the wall, you know what I have a big idea. Let's buy like a ton of lumber and build a big horse and like just expect people to bring us in. Whatever. Bring in the horse. Everyone bring in the horse. Bring in the horse. It's amazing. Bring in the horse. What? What are you saying over there?
Rescue me, rescue me.
Rescue me, there it is. Come in and bring the horse. Now on the other side, Helen, she didn't want to go back to Menelaus. He's old, his name is Menelaus. How can you be married to that for the rest of your life? What are your children gonna be named? I don't know. Paris was Orlando Bloom. What? So she went around and circled the horse in like some sort of like weird ritual, acting like, oh, I'm your wife and I'm gonna like say all these weird things and I'm gonna freak you out. Brought them to the brink of destruction. Wow, old-timey men are pretty easy to destroy. What? Anyway, and after their deaths of Hector and Paris, I don't even know who Hector is. Hector wasn't even in this story. Helen is now the paramour of their younger brother, Deiphobus.
That can't be right.
She hid her new husband's sword and left him to the mercy of Menelaus and Odysseus. Where's Odysseus in this? I don't know. Helen returned to Sparta and lived for a time with Menelaus. Well, why would she even return? Well, I mean, he did launch 1,000 ships to save her. I mean, that's kind of sexy.
He did rule Sparta.
He totally did rule Sparta. I am Sparta! So she returned to Sparta and lived a time with Menelaus, where she and Menelaus were completely reconciled and a harmonious married life. What? Really? And he held no grudge, even after her running away with her lover. I don't know. So the next time you're going to your job and you're running low on gas, you're not Helen of Troy. That's really not the way to end this. All right, so the life of Helen of Troy, difficult. I don't know. You know, our life isn't really that bad. I hope that you've learned a little bit more about Helen of Troy, and I hope that you go have some wine now. It's been a lovely time. I'm glad you were with me. Right?